And we're back with another video and another controversial video because, yeah, I'm talking trash some more. And I swear, it's like I feel bad. I really, like, for a minute, a split second, right now, I'm feeling bad only because I would rather not do these videos. But I keep getting messages, DMs on Instagram, and emails at ocmotivator@gmail.com from people who are screaming about the hurricane. Now, I did not want to go down this road, and I certainly am not looking to just start bashing on the trucks because for the most part, what I've seen, and I want to preface everything I do on this video that I share with you, which is some pretty crazy stuff, but with the fact that a lot of people, very many people, are very, very happy with the RHO and the twin turbo Hurricane Ram pickup trucks. A lot of people are way happier with those than they were with the Hemi, believe it or not. They consider it to be a significant upgrade, faster, outstanding with towing. There are a lot of just positive comments about those all over the place online, from recent purchasers to let's call it the long-time purchasers, which isn't that long of a time if you look back at the last year or so. But nonetheless, there are a lot of people out there that are happy. So I got to say that because I'm going to get beat up in the comments for getting down on the Hurricanes. But I think it's important for people to know, while they're contemplating whether or not they're going to wait for the Hemi to come, hopefully soon. I mean, I'm hoping in months, not like a year, like soon. I'm hearing rumors that they are rushing these things and trying to get them pumped out rapidly because there are so many orders. Remember all the articles? The article that I shared was 10,000 orders almost instantly for the Hemis, despite the fact that it's got the somewhat potentially problematic e-torque system, but they are absolutely flying off the shelves, and I expect they're going to. Let's talk about what's happening. Now that I've said all the disclaimers, so Tim Kaniskis, if you're watching, I'm sorry. I'm just calling these things out. And if you can push really hard to help these people, that would be great. And I don't know if you belong to these forums, but these people are there. I can send you some of them as well. These are issues that need to get solved. And it's not cool when somebody buys a new car or truck and within very few miles, something bad happens. I expected that many years ago when I bought my 2005 Land Rover Range Rover HSE, top-of-the-line model, at the time, $100,000 SUV, and it was spectacular. It was gorgeous. It was amazing. And 4,000 miles after I bought that thing, the transmission went out. And what's crazy is I wasn't even surprised because we all know that Land Rovers and Range Rovers, they are, pretty much junk. And to this day, they are. When we bought our Defender, and almost instantaneously, that thing ended up in the shop with problems and electrical issues and banging sounds underneath and a whole plethora of things. I think it's been in the shop like 4 or 5 times. We weren't even shocked because we know that that's the dance you're going to do when you buy a Land Rover, but not when you buy a Dodge. And I speak from experience, folks. I have a 2023 Dodge Challenger Scat Pack in Sublime Green, if you haven't watched the channel yet, and I just passed 26,000 miles, and other than a loose starter bolt from the manufacturer when it showed up, that car has had not a single issue, not even a flinch of an issue, nothing. It's a manual transmission. The thing is perfect in every possible way. I would rely on it to drive from here to Alaska if I needed to. I believe it would make it there. So those of you that trash Dodge and everything else just because it's Dodge and you're a Ford guy, I'm telling you right now, I've had nothing but great experiences. I've owned 8 of these things and never had a problem with the Hemi cars. But now you've got these high-tech trucks, which I don't think should be a thing. I think trucks should just be trucks. But they've become just mall crawlers and people who buy them to drive them as commuter vehicles and a car with a bed in the back. They also call that a whatever that Honda Ridgeline is. It's a car with a bed in the back. So that's what these things tend to be for a lot of folks. But folks that actually use them, off-road them, use them for work and jobs and everything else, for hauling things, they need reliability because nothing's worse than it breaking down while you're hauling stuff or trying to work. and that's what we're finding is happening now. So let me show you what I've come across, and only for just warning and cautious reasons. Caution. What the fuck am I trying to say? For cautionary reasons, I would share this with you so that you can be prepared when you buy, if you buy one, or contemplate whether you should wait. And that's a big question lots of people are asking. Should I wait for the V8? Personally, yes, I would. I would take less performance. I would take less overall in that truck to get something that is significantly more reliable, like my Dodge Charger. I would. Now, you have to weigh out whether the e-torque system is worth the risk itself. But let's assume that they've solved a lot of problems with that, and people are going to be very happy with it. What's happening with this twin-turbo Hurricane engine in these trucks, it's kind of unconscionable. It's not right. So let's go check this out. I went to the forums. Forgive me, I want to be on camera while I talk about these things. I tend to look at the camera, and I haven't been on it lately. So let's check this out. So this is the twin-turbo Hurricane group, and I'm finding more and more of these posts with issues. So, and here's one, and we don't want to start a flatbed gang for the Hurricane folks, but here's one on the flatbed. And this guy says, well, 212 miles and 8 days of ownership, and it's off to the dealer. Completely dead. The whole dash was flashing, every light possible before completely dying. Not sure if this was a good decision to buy one of these, considering I'm already having electrical issues, which seems common, and it is in this group. It is in the forums. I thought I'd get to at least 5,000 miles. Update. Main battery was fine, but the auxiliary battery had 0 CCA, replaced aux battery, and everything's fine. So, good news. But should that happen at 212 miles? I say it should not happen at 212 miles. But that's a minor issue. Thank goodness it's solved. But it's not the only issue that's taking place. Let's check out some other ones. And let me stop here and be balanced. Eddie says he's had his new Ram for almost a week, and he really likes it. It rides so well, and the clips audio is amazing. Yay. Okay, cool. So there you go. There's a happy one. All right, here's Neil. It says, dropping out of gear at slow speeds, shifted very smooth the first 750 miles, then bad shutter the last 150 miles, and then today it falls out of gear while still in drive mode after slowing below 10 miles per hour once at the intersection, and then in the neighborhood, had to go to park and then back to drive. The first time, second time, it had to be restarted. Let's see here. All right, this guy says, anyone getting this noise on startup had it at the dealer 2 times. Now, both say it's normal, but it didn't do this when I bought it. Started doing this around 800 miles and can't find one on any lot that does this. Let's see here. All right, not sure what that is. Could be just a simple exhaust leak, of course. All right, this guy says, anyone else's Hurricane sounds like this, started about 1,100 miles, been in the dealership 8 times for various issues. So anything that you buy that only has 1,100 miles on it, been to the shop 8 times, that would make me wait for the Hemi. That would make me hold back a little bit here. All right. Leon says, my fellow Ram SSTH owners, my CEL came on at just under 4,000 miles. The truck started misfiring and had a loss of power. The recommended ECU firmware update didn't address the issue, so it is getting 2 new cats and all O2 sensors replaced today. It's known issue, and it's been logged as a TSP. Fingers crossed that this fixes the issue. My local dealer, CDJR, has been upfront and fully transparent about the issue. So at least they're fixing it. Doesn't sound too serious, but again, something with that few miles having an issue, it does not make me feel confident. All right, here's another one here with Justin saying, new to the group, just have over 12,000 miles on my SST Bighorn, small list of issues I'm noticing, but are intermittent. Already in the shop 3 times for electrical issues, hard downshift at low speeds. When towing, hauling, there is a humming sound at 1500 RPMs that comes and goes. Pretty loud when slowing down to a stop. From a normal speed, there's a shudder felt just in the powertrain before it stops. Anyone else having these issues? So something to keep in mind. Good to know. And here's another one with engine noises, kind of like those others we're looking at. Rattle-like sound, video at idle after warm-up, everything at temp, high-pitched electrical whine, not the typical turbo's cooling sound, videos with the car in the on position, not running. I thought the first one could be a wastegate rattle, but it doesn't really go away. No clue on the second one. Let's listen to these. I'll share your thoughts, what that could be. And here's a guy, for some balance, folks, as one of the many, many Hurricane owners without issues. I wanted to make a positive post about my truck. Got it back in October, coming down from a tuned Hemi Ram. I run a horse farm, so my trucks get worked pretty hard. I kept the Hemi truck just in case I didn't like the new truck as much, but I hadn't driven the Hemi truck since November, so I sold it last week. Anyways, coming up on 9,000 miles. 2,500 of that is pulling a trailer, usually a horse trailer, but I've also towed a few of my cars around. It's dramatically faster than my tuned Hemi, and the truck is more refined in every way. They sell almost 10,000 of these trucks a month. Don't let a handful of complaints on social media deter you from upgrading. So there I am, being balanced. I just want you all to have the information and not have to go hunting for it like I'm doing. You can simply watch a video. You know what's going on. There's some unhappy people, and there's some very happy people. All right, now here is one worth looking at. This guy says he bought a 2025 Warlock on June 29th, drove it 700 miles to New Jersey on July 2nd, engine smoking and oil leaking, brought it to the dealership and was told there was internal engine leak, and they needed to get Stellantis engineering involved and keep it for at least a week. 800 miles in, and the engine is being disassembled. Stellantis already denied my request for replacement or reimbursement. Had to leave it in New Jersey and find another way home. Again, no assistance from Stellantis. This new truck excitement lasted for 72 hours. I'm sorry you're going through that, dude, and I hope this video helps nudge them to jump on your problem. This guy named Hunter Cole should not be going through this. Absolutely should not be going through this. This is not right. Look at that. That's crazy. Let's play that. Yikes. That's enough to make me wait for the Hemi, folks. I don't know about you. I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the Hemi will have problems too. I don't know. Give me the tried and true V8. I wish they kept the torque off, but we'd be good. All right, so let's talk about Nigel here. Have a lot to unpack here. Recently picked up the rig a month ago. Absolutely love the truck. Ran into some gear hunting, hard shifts at lower speeds. Hopped on here and found the TSB. Same deal with the highway speed pulling. TSB found some other smaller bugs that could get taken care of during the service visit. Take the truck in and was told it'll be a couple of days. Put the updates on and test drive it to make sure it's in order. Just out of curiosity, I hop on the app to see if anything pops up, and I find my rig parked at a donut shop 20 miles away. No communication, no updates from the service department. Wait a couple days, truck's ready, truck needed update, which I already knew based on the required TCM flash from the TSB. I had that I requested. Nothing else said about the appointment. In miles 610 out of 615, odometer miles 658, TCM reflash applied. Everything cannot be duplicated until I pull out of the dealership, and they all magically appear. I then ask about the donut shop parking. They had no idea. I asked about the 43 miles difference. No idea. Unauthorized trip. No idea. So they're offering 3 free oil changes and a car wash to compensate What do you guys think? I'll tell you what I think. Sometimes they got to drive to put miles on those things to reset everything, make sure it works. So before I freak out, I mean, I think it's great that they're stepping up. 43 miles, stopped at a donut shop. I mean, they got to take these things out and drive them sometimes, especially after they do updates, because they need to make sure they're delivering you a car that works. The fact that yours was not delivered working and all the problems came back definitely would cause me to ask questions about the donut shop and why I did not get an apple fritter. That would be the question I would have. And along with those oil changes, maybe a gift card to the donut shop. All right, David here says 3 weeks, and the truck already pulled a David Copperfield on me, disappearing and reappearing dash. So electrical issues, more computer and technological issues. I thought this was a good point to make here. Seamus Kelly had an idea, just that he'd mention it, and I can't help but to understand how these guys feel. Does anyone feel like Ram has just made the Hurricane the lower trim by making the V8 the more money option? With so many orders being made for the V8, my worry is the depreciation and resale value of our trucks is going to take a much bigger hit. Plus, the warranty not being on the 2025s is making me think I should take the loss now and go get a TRX. Anyone feeling the same? I would feel the same exact way, Seamus, and yes, you should absolutely go get the TRX. Yes, you should. You should also buy stock in every oil company you can, because you're going to be filling that thing up a lot compared to your twin turbo i6, but it's going to be well worth it. The miles per gallon will make you be happy you made that decision. But yeah, I mean, is this going to depreciate the Hurricanes if they sell a V8? I think more people are going to go in and just say, look, I would rather have the V8. Despite the fact that there's so many reasons why this twin turbo i6 is positive and great for a lot of folks, I think just if given the option for just a little more money, people are going to want that. So if that's the case, then yes, you will see more depreciation on your Hurricane trucks than you will on the Hemi trucks as a result of the Hemis coming to market. So there's another reason to wait. All right, so that's the story on the Hurricane in that group. And I only went back a week or two, maybe it was a week or so. I didn't go back that far. If you go back further, you will find other people having issues with their twin-turbo Hurricane engines, and a lot of it seems to be related to the technology in those trucks or some other sound issues or mechanical issues. It's kind of, there was people with the key fobs not working and things like that. Nothing dramatic other than like the guy with his truck in the shop 8 times. And I will say this too. There were significantly more people happy with their truck than not happy with their truck, if that helps. I don't want to be unfair and just pick out the negative. There are a lot of people very happy with the twin-turbo Hurricane. So should you wait to get the Hemi? I still believe over time that Hemi, even with the e-torque system, is going to be more reliable than the twin-turbo Hurricanes are. I believe that, and I could be completely wrong, and it's up to you to make that decision when you're doing your shopping, but you've got a decision to make, because it could literally be months before that Hurricane or before that Hemi shows up. So it's definitely something to consider, because if you go out and pick up one of these twin-turbo Hurricanes, an RHO, for example, today, and you pay a fortune for it, $70,000, and then you start having issues, and then the Hemi shows up, while it's not going to be all that RHO is, it may serve you much better, and you may kick yourself for not waiting to at least see, drive, and experience the new Hemi trucks that they're coming out with. So this is a personal decision for everybody. Personally, I wouldn't take a chance with these Hurricanes yet. They're new, and I think they'll work through bugs over time, but I don't want to be part of them. And some of you are going to say, oh no, they've been around for a while, and in other models, that's fine. I'm not sure, based on what I'm reading, that I want to jump in if I was a buyer on the twin-turbo i6, whether it's the RHO or the standard output. I would wait for the Hemi, but then again, I'm a Hemi guy, so it's all personal preference, whatever you think. So let me know what you think about this video. Was I fair? Didn't beat up on anybody, but just shared with you what's actually going on, and you can put 2 and 2 together and make your own decisions. So like, subscribe, comment, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.